It was supposed to be a quiet Friday night. 17-year-old Maya Reynolds loved having the house to herself. Her parents had left for the weekend to visit her aunt, and with all the freedom that came from being home alone, she had planned to binge-watch her favorite shows, order pizza, and catch up on homework. But by the time dusk turned into night, all of that felt trivial. The house, usually filled with life, footsteps in the kitchen, muffled arguments from the living room TV, her dad's low humming, was silent. Too silent. After ordering pizza, she settled into the living room with a blanket and her laptop. Halfway through an episode of Stranger Things, she heard it. A faint click, like a door settling, or maybe she imagined it. She shook it off. When the delivery guy knocked, she jumped. She opened the door, took the pizza box, and closed it quickly. It wasn't until she locked the door and turned back toward the hallway that she noticed something wasn't right. The back door, the one that led to the porch, was ajar. Her stomach dropped. Her hand froze on the doorknob. Slowly she walked toward it. Her breath felt loud. Every step amplified in the silent house. The hallway lights flickered briefly. Her heart pounded like a bass drum. She reached the door. It was open just enough for a sliver of cold night air to creep inside. She nudged it open. The porch light was on. That's when she saw it. A dark, glistening pool on the wooden floorboards. Blood. It wasn't a smear or a trail. It was a pool. Deep, dark red, thick, almost black in the dim porch light. It shimmered unnaturally in the corner. For a moment she couldn't breathe. Her mouth went dry. She stumbled backward, her heel hitting the door frame. No, this can't be real, she whispered. Her eyes darted around the porch, searching for something, anything, that could explain this. There were no signs of struggle, no footprints leading away, no weapon left behind. Her mind raced. A neighbor? A stray animal? A prank? Or worse? The hair on her arms stood up. She backed inside and locked the door. Her fingers trembled as she grabbed her phone. Her dad's contact stared back at her from the screen, but her thumb hovered over the call button before pulling away. What if it's nothing? What if I'm overreacting? But deep inside, something primal told her that this wasn't random. She turned off the lights and sat on the couch, pulling the blanket tighter around her shoulders. Then the noises started. At first it was a faint creak, just like an old house stretching in the cool night air. Then another. Closer. A thump upstairs. Maya's breath hitched. She stared at the ceiling, eyes wide and glassy. Every muscle in her body screamed to run, but her legs refused to move. Her phone buzzed. It was a text from her friend Zoe. "You good? Haven't heard from you in a bit. Stay safe." She froze, then typed back, "Yeah, just tired." But she couldn't shake it. The noises didn't stop. A soft scraping like claws on wood. A muffled whisper, just out of understanding. Her eyes darted to the stairway. For a long time she sat frozen. But then something pushed her toward action. If something's in the house, she thought, I need to find out. With a deep breath, she grabbed the kitchen knife from the counter and crept toward the stairs. Her bare feet were silent against the carpeted steps. Each step felt heavier than the last. Her fingers tightened around the cold metal knife. The attic door loomed at the top landing. It was shut. But then, it moved. It shuddered once, as if someone inside had pushed against it. Maya's eyes went wide. Her mouth opened to scream, but no sound came out. She forced herself to climb the last few steps, one by one. Her pulse roared in her ears. She stood before the attic door, which now showed signs of something pushing against it from inside, faint scratch marks near the hinges. Her hand shook as she reached for the knob. She hesitated. What if I open it and something jumps out? What if it's already watching me? But then, a low groan from inside made her jerk her hand away. She gritted her teeth and forced herself forward. Slowly she twisted the knob. The door creaked open. The attic was dark, thick with dust and cobwebs, with an old wooden beam in the center. But the air inside was suffocating, like something had been trapped for hours. Her eyes adjusted. At first she saw nothing. Then she saw them. Two eyes. Bright. Wet. Yellowish. Frozen. Watching. They blinked once. A face followed. Gaunt. Hollow-cheeked. Skin stretched over bone like a mask. The lips were cracked and parted, revealing teeth stained dark red. Maya's knees buckled. The figure in the attic lifted its head slowly. It didn't speak. It just stared. For a moment, it seemed frozen in time. Then it let out a guttural sound, not quite a growl, not quite a scream. Her fingers slipped. The knife fell. The noise echoed. The figure moved. It scrambled forward, its limbs bending at unnatural angles. Maya screamed and stumbled backward, crashing into the attic doorframe. The figure burst from the darkness like a predator starved for escape. The chase through the house was a blur. She darted down the stairs, heart racing faster than ever before. Her mind screamed for an exit, but the back door, the one with blood, now sat fully open, the wind blowing through like a gaping mouth. The creature followed. Its steps were fast, deliberate, and silent. Maya ran toward the front door, but it slammed shut the instant she touched it. She spun around. The attic stairs loomed like the entrance to hell, and from them came the figure. It stopped at the foot of the stairs, breathing heavily, eyes locked on her like it could devour her whole. Maya slammed the door's deadbolt and ran for the kitchen. Her eyes darted everywhere. The garage door. The windows. Nothing seemed open. Her phone slipped from her grip. It shattered on the floor. Then silence. The creature's growl faded. The air seemed to suck itself into stillness again. Maya barely breathed. She could hear only the ticking of the clock above the stove. Minutes passed. Or maybe seconds stretched forever. The attic door upstairs creaked once more. Maya's eyes locked on it. Slowly, the door closed. She sat on the floor, hugging her knees to her chest, frozen in terror. The blood on the porch. The eyes in the attic. The way the door moved. The suffocating silence. It was all real. By the time dawn cracked the sky with pale light, Maya hadn't slept. She sat by the door, clutching the knife, staring blankly at the floor. Her parents called at 7 a.m. "I'm fine," she whispered, voice trembling. When they arrived hours later, they found the back door wide open, the porch stained with dried blood, and the attic door locked from the inside. They broke it open. Nothing was there. Only dust. Only cobwebs. Only silence. Maya never stayed home alone again. Sometimes at night she thinks she hears scratching from upstairs. Sometimes she wonders, did it ever leave? Or is it still hiding, waiting for the next time she's alone?